We come back home now to economic issues regarding fishing. Subsistence fishermen in Durban are very unhappy. In fact, they're reeling, if you will. They're unable to ply their trade after the contamination of Durban beaches being widely reported, especially here on eNCA. The KZN Subsistence Fishing Forum is saying the eThekwini municipality is failing as far as maintaining critical infrastructure. Well, let's hear from the forum's chairperson, John Peter Naraiansamy, joining us now to talk about this. John Peter, good morning to you. Appreciate your time. So when we say that there's an infrastructure failure as far as the eThekwini municipality is concerned, help me understand. What do you mean by that?
Good morning, Garrett, and morning to your viewers. Thank you for having me. But it seems that it's now become a norm whereby critical infrastructures like the water pump stations are failing. And it's resulting in raw sewage flowing into the rivers, thereby entering our ocean. A case in point we had was Isipingo Beach, and 2 weeks later at the Blue Lagoon. And the impact of this is that the high levels of E. coli that gets into the ocean, and then the municipality has to close the beaches, thus depriving our poor, vulnerable, and destitute fisher folks from catching fish to put food on the tables. There are many fisher folks who are living in close proximity to beaches, but are now forced to travel further away to go and catch fish. And this is resulting in incurring higher costs for them on a one fishing trip. So there are many fisher folks who are now deprived of going to catch fish, and they are living below the poverty line. Some are even being threatened by loan sharks. Others are going to bed hungry, all because of the failure from the municipality.
And there's a failure down the value chain as well. This is goes beyond, isn't it, John? This goes beyond just the fishermen on these various beaches. You mentioned Isipingo a moment ago. There's a value chain involved here. You could almost call it a micro economy that's being affected as well. Do we have a sense of any jobs being lost? Do we have a sense of how many people are having to now find other kinds of work?
Yes, you see, the impact of this is that it not only affects fisher folks. There are lots of people who are affected with jobs. Like you take, for instance, the biodiversity at the Isipingo Lagoon. People go there and get different kind of plants to do the artwork and sell. But they are unable to go anywhere in that vicinity. So it's an impact that is affecting everyone. And we talk even tourism. It's the bathers, the surfers, the divers, including traditional healers that frequent that area. And they are all now kept away and cannot go into that place to do whatever they want to do.
What's the interaction been with the eThekwini municipality? Because this was covered quite extensively. We were hearing that they had their top experts, top professionals, environmental activists on this, but it seems like not much is going on. What's the conversations been between yourself and other forums like yours and eThekwini municipality?
They are not being transparent and honest enough to disclose what are the causes of this malfunctioning on your water pumps at the water stations, and including the water testing. They post up results which totally differ from independent analysis. We find that during the past two weeks ago, when there was the Comrades Marathon, the results that were posted at the Ekutheni Durban beachfront area, they've put low levels of the E. coli after testing, just to draw people onto the beaches. But independent bodies went and done testing, and they found the results to be extremely high. So we want the municipalities to stop making excuses like blaming on flood damage or vandalism.
Are you suggesting that the municipality is deliberately altering numbers, which I imagine if there's E. coli in the water, if they're doing that deliberately, the suggestion from your forum is that they could very well be deliberately making people sick?
That's correct. And they are not being honest and sharing the information correctly. Because like I said, we have some other organizations that are conducting their independent analysis, and the results are coming out far higher from what the municipality is declaring. I'm going to notice that it was stated in the media recently, there's 17 out of the 22 pump stations in the Durban municipalities that are malfunctioning. So do they lack the funds or the expertise or both to carry out the planned maintenance? We expect them to rather be proactive than reactive, and we need a concerted effort for them to step up their game to improve on the service delivery, because this is now really impacting not only on fisher folks for now. Should they open the beaches within a week or two, the damage is already done. There's things called coral reefs in our ocean. It takes years for that thing to replenish after it's dormant. And the fish and the marine species are all driven away. So opening the beaches within a week or two, it's not going to help much, because the fish stocks have now migrated deeper offshore. So we are actually rock and surf onshore fishers, and we are deprived, going to be deprived and suffering for years to come.
Ecological disaster, I think, is what some people would suggest this is, and not much it looks like is being done about it. We are going to follow up, of course, with eThekwini Municipality. John Peter Naraiansamy, thank you very much for joining us. KZN Subsistence Fishing Forum Chairperson this morning. Also, we're going to follow up, we'll get some details of those independent organizations that are testing those levels of E. coli down in the area. You've got to worry as well as we head up to December what is happening in the area from a tourism perspective, but then from an environmental and ecology perspective as well. It's very worrying how long it could take for these areas to come back up to speed.